How did Wrexham go last night? Yeah, right. Yeah.
Half time
Cool. I marvel.
goals.
Oh, goals.
Yeah, because like half time, there's the blow up bowls that go in, and my family, there's other family, we were playing on the pitch, and I scored like only 2 goals that I scored
Well
at
done.
half time.
Nice. Good experience, eh?
37,000 people.
Hey?
37,000 people at the stadium.
Well, a very good afternoon and welcome to Eastern Oval. Well, the sun is prevailing for the moment. Really looking forward to this clash. It's third v fourth. Third place on the line. Sunbury will be promoted from fourth to third, given their percentage advantage over East, who are a game clear in third. But they're going to have to work hard for it in the absence of leading forward Dan Johnson and, of course, Josh Guthrie, two key outs. Guthrie done for the season, of course, with that ankle. And what is also against Sunbury is East Point have won their last 13 games here at Eastern Oval, dating back to round 15, 20, 23, when they lost to Sebastopol. But that essentially started their run. And, they got almighty close in their dash through the finals. So I've tipped East Point to get it done today, despite the absence of Mickey Rodamaranis, who will be tuning in via Noosa Heads, no doubt, throughout the afternoon. Maybe we should have substituted the word hammy for holiday. I think he's off to a wedding. And no Alex Molan. He's done for the year as well in a nasty blow. Of course, a key ground ball player, very clean. So both sides shy of their best. But no excuses today. You can score at either end, despite the reserves suggesting otherwise. Sunbury 86-point losers against East Point. Trying to get played away. Sunbury will kick to the left of screen in round 12, match of the round action. Coles in the ruck, won that tap, and Matty Johnson will get the first disposal of the afternoon. One of many, you'd think, for East Point's fortunes today. Geordie Johnson and Tentanello leading to the race for the ball. Tentanello found Miller, high, slow hand pass, put Hannett under the pump. Good pressure for Willems. And we get a ball up on half-forward broadcast side for East Point. Gee, some impact on that Willems tackle. Want to just knock the wind out of Hannett momentarily. He'll be right in a couple of minutes, you'd think. Either a jog back to the last line or a little spell. His first rotation, albeit the opening minute. So you'd think the healthiest of the top four sides going around at the moment will start favourites at the business end. There's a few soldiers dropping around the competition, but Matty Johnson, the reigning Hendo medalist, is not one of those. And his loose ball exit was denied by Egan, and we'll get a ball up. And an awkward one at that from the umpire. So both sides just feeling their way in the opening couple of minutes. Decent crowd in attendance here at Eastern Oval for this match of the round. Tap away by Van Miller. He was quick by hand. Boyd, he was denied. Dispossessed there by Kenny, who found Johnson, who went forward with an entry inside 50. The first of the afternoon. Gathered there by Boyd through traffic. Egan touch of the fumbles. Kenny gathered. Couple of interleague reps combining there. Well, one from either side, in fact. So Van Meel finally gathered and went high with an up and under. And Lever, on the last line, as he so often does, takes his first intercept mark of the afternoon. So Lever waving all the hands and goes into the middle of the ground. Now Coles presents, needed to hang on to that, open the door here, but his ground ball was cleaner than his aerial, and he was held up by Johnson. We'll get a ball up 50 metres away from the East Point goal. So Van Meel, the warrior, won the tap. Egan tried to tap it to the advantage of Coles. Opportunity here for the youngster. There in Jones. His shallow entry inside 50 has been held up. We'll get a ball up. Yeah, so it's welcome back to the top level for young Jones, captain of the under 18 and a half. So I was fortunate enough to see him play against Bacchus Marsh earlier in the year, and he acquitted himself well. And he's obviously deserved his recall. Van Meel with the tap. Ground ball. Gathered by Tentanello. G. Coles, not for the first time, touch of the fumbles in the early minutes. Cameron, dispossessed, hot footy, ground ball. Looks like we'll get another stoppage here. It's a hot footy at the moment. Dozen or so players around one footy. Van Meel, the fly, won the tap against Coles. Foot race on. Johnson, speak of Matty, leads into the race, tries to square the ball. Opportunity here for Cook. He's tackled. Gee, the tackling pressure's been good early. Jones dispossessed, and away they go through Cameron, the Lions. He ran his measure. Too long and too slow, said the umpire. Good turnover opportunity for Willems. He's had a couple of instrumental tackles in the opening couple of minutes. Don't underestimate the 1%ers as East Point get a deep forward entry. Lever combines with Tendinello, and the exit kick was good and found Cook. Of course, Dean Muir and Brockland overseas. And there's another couple of missing from the Lions' best 22. So the kick to out of centre wing's been cut off there by Howard, who took a nice mark in front of Sutton. So while the 8-goal final term at the Clark Oval was decisive in their first meet, let's not forget Sunbury kicked the first 4 goals of that game as well. Brown at ground level. He'll get a free kick for over the shoulder. To the disappointment there of Lever. And Brown, who's a thumping kick. We saw him kick one from inside the centre square at Darley. It's not like there was a great deal of breeze behind his back early, at all. So he'll back himself from here. He would have had plenty of shots here over the journey on match day and through training. So he'll know his limitations. And obviously he thinks this is not beyond him. So he gets plenty of it. Low trajectory kick. Ground ball opportunity. Swarm of players around the footy. And we'll get a ball up. Coles, the ruckman at ground level, squaring away a stoppage just a metre away from the Kangas goal. Ball up. McDougall. He couldn't, could he? Well, he barely got the distance from a metre out, but he did enough. And that's the start that East Point were after. As I did touch on, they did concede first 4 goals of their first meet back in round 5. So that'll do wonder for the confidence, especially in such a physical opening. Doesn't always equate forward 50 entries to scores, but East Point were finally able to capitalise through McDougall, who missed their first meet, and that was telling the longer the game went. Back at the restart. Tap one by Van Meel. Loose ball opportunity for Newitt. Pressure was good there from Hucker. Forced the turnover through Irvin, who got it to Cairns. Shallow entry inside 50. Geordie Johnson looking for an important early touch. Forced to release the ball by hand. Finally get it over for a boundary throw-in. So, yeah, well, it's a problem. Well, the envy of the competition really to have the, what do we do with Geordie Johnson, forward or mid? Of course, been in best 10 of 11 this year. Tap one by Van Meel. Now Egan with the left boot. Comes broadcast side and the fat side of Sutton. Good corralling there from Howard. Nice push off the footy there by Sutton. Who got it to Parker. Who lowered the eyes and the kick was good and the stretch was better. He found Cook, who can get it over the top to Cameron. Just missed the target, the all-important one. Must be slipping near that boundary line. Muir struggled to keep his footing, but did so in the end, but not before the ball found its way over the line for a boundary throw-in. 7 minutes gone opening term. Each Point with the only goal, a real something out of nothing goal through McDougall. Now it's Sunbury's opportunity to respond with a boundary throw-in inside their 50. The clearing kick out of the congestion towards the defensive 50 for the Kangas has been marked there by Cairns, who comes broadcast side to Matty Johnson. Gets his third touch. Right foot kick to half forward. Now Brown read it better than Gallant. He got out the back, but Lever's providing the support for the Lions. He'll be happy to get it out here. Hasn't quite just yet. Here comes the support through Gallant. Overran the footy. Brown with a check side from a standing start. Didn't know he had another stride or two up his sleeve. And kicked it across the face out of bounds on the full. So Brown with a couple of early touches. Perfect segue to say hello to Mrs. Brown, Jacob's mum, of course, who likes to tune into the stream, even when at the game. So Sunbury extricate out of the fence to Tentinello on the back of that Pierce kick. So the 45, Hannett back on the ground, half volley. Now he's under the pump. The dangerous Geordie Johnson gathered. Got it out there towards Jones, whose kick with the outside of the right boot has hit the post. So an encouraging start. There's that Hannett, all too familiar torpedo punt. It got towards broadcast centre wing. Sutton caught one high. Unintentional, just clumsy. Sutton sends the ball forward. Gee, good attack on the ball. But there'll be a turnover opportunity here. They've overcooked the kick wide. Kick meant for McDougall. Into a young Bygate. Lowered the eyes and the kick was good and found Stevens. They should have some confidence up after an interleague call up last week. Sends the ball wide. That's nearly a push on Egan. Umpire said no. Foot race on. Pearce tried to keep it in but couldn't, and we'll get a ball in. 45 metres away from the Sunbury goal, who trailed by 7 points on the road to Eastern Oval today for this third v4 matchup. And Sunbury endeavouring to upset a run of 13 wins on the trot here at Eastern Oval for the Kangas. Throw in. Van Meel. Just a little tap. Just tried to get enough on it. But swarm of players waiting there. Jones, one of those. The restart, Van Meel. Got it beyond the defensive 50. Still a ground ball. Anyone's chance here. And looks like we'll get a ball up 55 metres away from the Sunbury goal. Well, the central umpires have had more ball than anyone at the moment. Such has been the increasing numbers of, well, above average stoppages in this early part. So Coles, good use of the body. Got it to Newitt. He lowered the eyes, but the turnover found Merritt. So he'll get to rebound. Normally an excellent kick with that drop punt. This one, no exception. And they're off on their bikes through Geordie Johnson, the Kangas. Penetrating kick meant for Brown and found him. Just read it better than Gallant and not for the first time. Ran to 51. McDougall's got the set and he didn't let him down. So McDougall with the only goal of the afternoon in general play. And on this occasion, a set shot to make it 2 unanswered for the Kangas in the opening 11 minutes here. Ground's in good nick. Typical Eastern Oval. McDougall. He has got 2 pair of boots in his bag every time he goes to the footy. Let's hope for East Point he's got the right ones on today, Elijah. Now off to the right for a minor score. Must be difficult when they're the same brand and the same size. They get equal use. And they'll bring the ball back into play through that effective exit of Lever. So Tedinello with ball in hand and the last line. Weighing up the options. Takes advantage of the stand rule. Runs his measure. Goes towards Egan. Thump on the ball was handy enough there from Van Meel. Land in the bread basket of Matty Johnson, who had no momentum either way. Just had to stop and prop under that footy. Was held up. So another stoppage. Coles won the tap. Stevens couldn't gather. Power could. Now got it to Coles. Found Egan. Didn't want to do the U-turn, so he went back through traffic to Boyd, who found Miller. So there was a bit of composure there from Sunbury. And he'll just chip it over the top to Lever, who's quite the distributor with his telling left boot. Now Newitt was up to the task and gave it back to Lever, who went to the outer side of the ground. Now Hannett's made ground to half forward. Normally a good kick. Onto the bounce, Sutton. Couldn't quite gather cleanly. Harassed well there by Howard. And they'll combine here through Jones. Hand pass meant for Johnson. Missed him. Opened the door for Gallant. High up and under from the Lions. Went forward. It's a poor kick, really. The umpire's picked out a free kick. It's going to go the way of Sutton. Given I was watching the next play and bereft of a comments man, I was unable to see what happened behind the ball to validate that free kick. And Irvin, a little bit worse for wear on the mark. And Sutton's got the ball. 38 goals this year, Jake Sutton. Let's not forget he had a week at Essendon as well. 5 goals in his last home and away game. Thumping right foot kick. The journey was not beyond him. Neither was the accuracy. Sunbury get there first. And East Point just go and congratulate Sutton in their own way. And Sutton's on the board. So 2 of the big guns from the respective sides, their leading goal scorers, Sutton and McDougall at either end, have a goal each. And the margin now 2 points. Matty White to be reasonably happy with that. While they haven't had a great deal of composure with the ball, Sunbury. Lever has been an exception, of course. They'd be happy with that, given to the eye. East Point have had more ball. If you don't agree there, I'll go with more ball in their front half. So we're back at the restart. Chance here for Canny. Somehow gathered. Kick ricocheted. Came broadcast side. Foot race on. Excellent bump. Use of the body there from Matty Johnson on Bygate. Miller kept it in, provided the support. Handball received from Riley. Tumbling kick, the old-fashioned torp was enough. Gee, Kenny did well to get a hand on that. Merritt, dispossessed. Kenny again. Right foot, high up and under kick, and we cut off there. Uncontested mark taken there by Lever, who started well and went short and hit up Stevens. He's got Miller short if he wants, and he's still there. Like a man waiting for his mail at the letterbox. Goes inside 50. Kenny at the back. Drop what he should have taken. Now he's forced to do some defensive work. Hannaford taken to ground by McLean. We'll get a ball up. Each point 1 goal 2-8. Lead Sunbury 1 straight 6. Tick over 15 minutes gone. We'll give you update scores from around the BFNL. So stick with us. Tap one by Van Meel. Gee, Bygate did well, the youngster. Sent the ball forward in the Sutton direction. Could have been a free kick there to Jones, but he was denied. Chance for Q. Nearly took too long. Chance for Corcoran with a turnover opportunity. Well, he's just missed. What a let-off. Not sure the youngster might have had another stride or two in him. Just a little bit of composure. He did plenty right to generate that shot on goal. Got a 1-point ball game. And Hannaford is coming off with a very sore shoulder. Now Riley has marked that exit kick from the Kangas and went to the danger spot and found McLean as a thumping kick from about 51 metres out. Gee, this will be an important finish for Sunbury to hold off that pressure of East Point on their home deck in the opening 17 minutes. So it'll be McLean from 50. Not sure he'll get the journey. Off hands. Scores level. Well, we had a tight game for 3 quarters the last time these two teams met. It looks like we're in for another tight one for the most part here this afternoon. Under grey skies and the occasional bit of drizzle, but none should affect the quality of the game as Merritt found McDougall, who's a mile away from home, but he's got quite the engine. He's a very important cog. That kick just let him down. Jeffrey, half volley. Was able to get it back to McDougall, who went to Slater. Poor hand pass, cut off there by Bygate. Didn't get enough on the handball. Merritt shrugged the tackle. Up against the boundary line there was Jeffrey. Sent it to broadcast centre wing. Cancelled the sharking. It's a hot footy. Lever. Got it to Stevens. He can combine with Cook here, who can get it to Wood. Now he'll get onto that left boot. Send it forward. Sutton. Good play. Arguably the best passage of play for the afternoon. Or the opening 18 minutes of this game. More to the point. And Sutton will have a shot on goal here. Of course, the hierarchy at Sunbury must be frustrated with no Johnston today out there. Coburg just saying, oh, no, we'll have him for a week when they've actually got the bye. That does frustrate the clubs more broadly. across the BFNL. So it'll be Sutton from 40. He's got his kicking boots on today, but this one missed off to the right. Gee, the goal umpire not in a hurry to accumulate his steps per day. Just stood right in the middle of the goals there and gave it a point. So it'll be Merritt who'll slingshot the ball back for East Point towards true half back through the hands of Muir. Chance for Dot out the back. Good pressure at the back there from Wood. Cameron went to ground and had a swing at it. Geordie tried to find brother Matty but couldn't in the end. Gathered there by Cairns. Tumbling kick to half forward. Now McDougall's held there by Riley. Gee, and then he accidentally slapped Riley in the face. Well, I'll call it even because there was a free kick both ways. But now the umpire will pay the third one. And this one's going to go to Jacob Brown. And 50. Against Lever. Must have been just a bit of dissent in that to the eye. And Brown, who's booted 21 goals this year, will make it 22. And he's first for the afternoon. All right, I'll endeavour to get a score for you from around the grounds in other BFNL league action. So, Bacchus Smash, nothing. We'll give it a little buffer and see how we go. Well, Bacchus Smash off to the perfect start. 23 lead North Ballarat 1. Ballarat 13, trail Darley 14. Melton and Redan are level at 19 apiece. And Sebastopol off to a flyer against Lake Winderee. They lead 33-1. But here at Eastern Oval, it's East Point by 5 points. Low scoring game, but goal for goal, nonetheless, by definition. So out of the middle goes Geordie Johnson, forward in the Matty Johnson direction. Ground ball opportunity here for the captain. Kicks it across the body. McDougall, good, was Brown, in fact, good use of the body. But the ball just got away from him and Wood. And Wood was saved by the goal line. Rushed behind in the end. So Wood brings the ball back into play. He goes short to Boyd. Got Gallant, stationary target, and hit him. Found him. See, they're well set up behind the ball, East Point, making it difficult to extricate. Merritt was strong in a 2-on-1 against. Gave Slater an opportunity to gather, who fed it to McDougall. Back to Merritt. He was important in that passage there, Merritt. Thump, read well off the pack by Jeffrey. Dribbling ball, it's a hot one at that. Tentinello forced to release the ball. Gallant went to Wood, back to Boyd, who ran across the goal square. Now this kick needs to be good, and it was. It found Miller. So he hit up a few targets, Boyd, in this opening term, under pressure in the back half. So good on him after a few weeks back into the senior side. So the kick gets towards half-back. Not out of trouble yet, Sunbury. But the boundary line will beat them all. We'll get a boundary throw in 60 metres away from the East Point goal. It's a one-goal ball game, 15 plays 9. Right over the other side of the ground. Coles grabbed that one with strength. Needs to be effective by hand. Now Power took the slips catch off Miller and sent it to a dangerous area. Turnover opportunity here for the Kangas as they hook up. It's the young fella Jones who sent the ball forward. And guess who? Lever, not for the first time this afternoon. It's probably his fourth grab behind the ball. And he started well, leading by example. He even won the toss today, Lever. That's how well he's going. So Egan inside the defensive 50. Switches play. That's good vision. Now Miller's covered a bit of ground. He was right in front of us a moment ago. And now he's $10 in a cab away. Off hands over the line. We'll get a boundary throw in. Attacking side of centre wing. Out of side of the ground for East Point, who cling to a 6-point lead in an entertaining and physical opening 23 minutes of this match of the round. Throw in, Coles again. Egan through traffic, kept the ball going forward. Dribbling one at that, got towards half forward. Good pressure on the ball there from Stevens. The youngster there might have been Corcoran, it was. Just kept that pattern of play rolling forward for another couple of metres. So they probably got 50 or 60 metres gained from no clean possession there, Sunbury, with a few percentage or metres gained Sockers along the ground and knocks forward. Now they're in a dangerous part of the ground to square the ledger here at Eastern Oval. Near 24 minutes gone opening term. East Point, as you can see on the bright digital scoreboard here, have the 6-point advantage. So it'll be Van Meel and Coles who had a good duel. Coles in the second half of this first term has had the upper hand. Won that tap. We could only find the boundary line. 3.5 minutes to go in this opening term. Gee, I hope they were talking to me. Coles dropped the footy and justly penalised. So Q, across the last line of defence, will come broadcast side to Howard. Oh, that was an excellent ball there from Sutton. Because if he had taken body, he would have been penalised. But he managed to get an important touch on the footy. And we'll get a boundary throw in. Half forward, broadcast sign for Sunbury. Throw in. The Warriors out to play. I speak of Coles and Van Meel. Coles won the tap. Jeffrey fighting hard. Pearce at ground level. We'll get a ball up. Tap one by Coles again. But gee, it's just been hard to get any genuine clearance. Been hard to get out the front of stoppage today. The number of players around the footy. Van Meel on that tap. Jones fed it out, did well. Got it to Matty Johnson. Dangerous ball. Brown in front. Turns around and just puts it out in front to the running Geordie Johnson. Dribbling ball. It's rolled into the goalpost. So it was a bit each way there from Brown. If he had the accuracy, he would have rolled through for a goal. But if he didn't have the speed on the ball, he was hopeful Geordie Johnson was able to run onto it. But he got neither. So Boyd went short to Gallant, who looks like, as I mentioned in a game earlier this year, straight out of the 80s. Right foot kick to out of centre wing. Ground ball opportunity. Matty Johnson got a good territory gain. Shallow entry at the back. Geordie Johnson couldn't hang on. Gallant was good. Lever, rare fumble. In trouble. Found Tentinello by hand. Got it to Gallant. Did well in the phone box. Turned around. And got a dribbling territory gain towards half back. And it rolled over the line for a boundary throw in. As I say every week, I always find a deliberate or a insufficient intent. Rarely paid at this level, but that surely would have been in the AFL. Boundary throw in. Van Meel, tiny tap, hopeful. Or Jones caught one high, the youngster, from Egan as the rain starts to tumble down here at Eastern Oval. So Jones with the right foot kick in the Brown direction, but Gallant read it well. He's had a good couple of minutes, been good in that back half for Sunbury. Kick goes beyond the defensive 50. Chance here for Parker and Cook. Cook said, well, I'll have it. And his kick was touched, but enough to get a 30-metre gain, but only as far as Howard, who stopped, propped, and a ball came off hands and went over the line for a boundary throw-in. True centre wing broadcast side right in front of us. Each point lead by 7 points here. Near 28 minutes gone opening term. Good throw-in by the umpire. That's worthy going on the highlights reel of some of the ones we've seen this year. That was excellent from the lightly framed redhead. We'll get a ball up, centre wing, broadcast side. 7-point lead to East Point. Egan looks a bit sore. Might have caught one off the ball. Didn't see it, so can't say it. Excellent ball at the back there from Tentinello. Loose ball opportunity. McDougall's going to couple to beat. He needs the support. Doesn't have it. Parker went back towards Riley, but his kick was astray and out of bounds on the full. So an opportunity for Jeffrey to send the Kangas back into attack. Time running out. Excellent smother there from Corcoran. Jones will get on the end of this though as The two Joneses combine. 1, 2 and a third time. The umpire's picked out a free kick. It's going to go against the Jones boys. It's going to go the way of Sunbury. Well, I can't throw young Kepler under the bus. It was Billy on Corcoran. So Corcoran with ball in hand. From half back to half forward. Guess who? The target, Sutton. Had it knocked away from him there by Howard. Cook tried to find Cameron but couldn't. Loose hand pass there from Brown. Meant for Johnson. Ended up in the hands of Dodd. Tumley kicked to half forward. McDougall and Riley. Riley did well to affect the spoil. Fed by hand there by Lever, who got it to Boyd. There's 5 in a row there from Murphy. Hitting the target I'm talking about, and knew it onto that right boot. Egan presented from the side while all the attention was on the Sutton lead. That was clever play there from Egan. He was able to cut across that lead while it was meant for Sutton. Egan read it well. He'll get a shot on goal here. So he'll just lob this up into the air as he so often does with that laconic left foot and just allow the breeze to do its bit. He doesn't ever try and kick the ball too hard, Egan. It's an important player. Their second leading goal scorer on the ground for the season, Egan, behind Sutton. So right on 50. It's not a bad attempt, but it's off to the left and through for a minor score. So we've got a 1-goal ball game here at Eastern Oval. It's the hosts who have the narrow lead. 2-4-16, Sunbury 1-4-10. That quarter went the best part of 30 minutes. The goal scorers for East Point, McDougall and Brown, have one apiece, whilst for Sunbury, Jake Sutton has their lone goal. Guys, we'll just have a look around the grounds in other games in BFNL football before we take a quick break. All right, Bacchus Marsh, 28, lead North Ballarat 7. Ballarat 20, lead Darley 14. Melton 31, lead Redan 20. Lake Windaree 1, trail Sebastopol 51. So there's a few storylines going around the BFNL, albeit one quarter in. So, guys, for the here and now, we'll take a break. It's East Point who lead Sunbury by 6 points. The second quarter action coming to you live from the BFNL Match Centre in 5 minutes' time.
When else could you have a burger where the buns are pancakes? Macca's new McGriddles. Brekkie comes first.
Welcome back to Eastern Oval ahead of this second quarter of round 12 action in BFNL's match of the round. It's East Point who lead by 1 goal. An arm wrestle, best way to describe that opening term. Sunbury's defence held up well on the back of some... average entries inside 50 there from East. At the restart, Van Meel got it to Matty Johnson. A bit of a copy-paste in the opening from the opening term. Lee with the fly. Touch of the fumbles there at ground level there was Dodd, but it was a hot footy. We'll get a ball up. So McDougall and Brown with the only goals for East Point. Sunbury, their solitary goal contributor. He has one. Tap one by Van Meel over the top. Matty Johnson couldn't get ball to boot in the traffic. And ping, said the umpire. Thought he's a bit stiff there. Certainly was an effort by foot. So it'll be Wood. Will soldier away to centre wing. Sutton. Umpire called play on. Sunbury wanting a push there on Sutton from Howard, but denied. We'll get a ball up on true centre wing out of side. So it'll be Coles and Van Meel. Neither could gain the ascendancy. Quick hands there from Egan. Got it to Cook, who found Coles, who went with a high up and under. Forward. Ground ball. Whistle imminent, and we'll get a ball up. Opening 2 minutes here at Eastern Oval. No score added. The Kangas lead by 6. Been a little bit lucky with the ominous-looking dark cloud overhead. No real rain to speak of. Now McLean through traffic. Got it to Egan. Standing start from 50. Yeah, just lacked a bit of composure. Was hopeful rather than anything else. Off to the left, but they'll get a boundary throw in deep in their forward line, adjacent to the behind post. So a chance to reset here and make something of this. Throw in. Muir at the back, Van Meel in front. Neither again could impact. Sutton could though, with the outside of the right boot. Scores level here at Eastern Oval. Clever player. Jake Sutton, forward craft. So the watch of Sutton at one end and McDougall at the other. That'll keep us entertained throughout the afternoon, I'm sure. McDougall able to get his goal in general play amongst a swarm of players out of a stoppage. Sutton was up to the task and was able to match the key forward with his craft. Back at the restart. Tap one there by Coles on that occasion. Hurry kick out of the congestion there from Kenny. Shallow entry inside 50 for the Kangas. Good attack on the footy from Dodd. Turnover. Miller. Hannett. Over the top to Power. Nearly fell over. Got it back to Miller. Could have gone inboard to Hannett, but now he's in trouble. Quick hands to Egan. He went back to Cameron. He'll save the day with a right foot kick out towards half forward. Bouncing ball. Sutton in the lead for the race for the footy, but the boundary line beat he and Howard over the line for a throw in. Scores level here. Tick over 3 minutes gone. In this second term. Throw in. Van Meel. Howard. Hand pass only went as far as Cameron, who kept his feet, but not before he went over the line out of bounds and then fell over. So we'll get a throw in. Attacking side of centre wing out of side of the ground for Sunbury. Coles in front. Van Meel at the back. No real impetus. Little soccer out of nowhere there from Powell was hopeful. Pearce at ground level. Oh, he'd be pinged for holding the ball. So that squares the ledger for the previous one against Matty Johnson. And he has ball in hand. So he lopes away onto the right boot. Penetrating low kick. Tendanello flew with the spoil. Chance for Geordie Johnson. Went to Brown. Boundary line. Squaring kick and found Dodd. Good unselfish play there. I'm sure Brown would have almost fancied his chances running towards goal. But did the unselfish thing. And squared the ball to Dodd. Who's a clever user. Kick across the body from Dodd. Is good. And East Point get rewarded for their selflessness in that passage with that Dodd finish. And they get that response to that Sutton goal. And are back out to a 6-point lead. So the stocks and the importance on Dodd and the fortunes of East Point moving forward have certainly gone up in the absence of Alex Boland, if they weren't already. Clever player. 6-point lead to East Point. So 2 goals in the opening 5 minutes to add a bit of vibrancy to the scoreboard. And the scorers keep them awake at the wheel. Back at the restart. It'll be Coles and Van Meel. Van Meel won the tap only as far as Egan. High up and under with the left foot kick. Now Merritt's already appealing for the deliberate, but he won't get it. Of course, a former AFL player himself there, Merritt. Just cannot believe it. Welcome to local footy. 3-4-22 East Point. Sunbury 2-4-16. We get a boundary throw in once it's retrieved from over the fence. So it'll be Van Meel and Coles to do the hard work. The aerial. We've had plenty of those today. Canny, clearing kick. Now McDougall, he's outnumbered here. And Miller will just gather, just chip it over the top, and the kick was good. Found Wood. He was off, was he? No. Oh, 50 against. Well, no benefit of the doubt there. Billy Jones. Counting himself every bit stiff here, and this will bring Wood within range. An unlikely goal scorer given his defensive role in this Sunbury team. He should come from everywhere if he can slot this one, because this is, well, in his senior career, rare. But normally a good user, and he's done well to hit the post. It's a pretty narrow target, but nonetheless he gets a minor score. Disappointment for Sunbury fans. A let-off for East Point. 5-point ball game. East Point lead. Merritt brings the ball back into play. Wood in front, and it knocked away from him there by McDougall. Egan held. Chancellor Wood, second effort, fired it out towards Stevens. He was dispossessed by Thompson. Some good pressure on Cook there from Matty Johnson, and we'll get a stoppage. So the Heat, after a fairly open 5 minutes of this second term, the Heat's gone up again. Ball up, loose ball. Wood slipped over. Jeffrey stood up and fired it out, but too long, said the umpire. So it'll be Jake Egan with ball in hand and just letting his forwards know he'd like them to open up. So it'll be Egan from half forward broadcast side. They're trailed by 5 points at the moment, Sunbury. So he goes to the pocket. Wasn't the best entry. And we'll get a ball up. So Egan went from true half forward, wide to the pocket. Ball up, tap one by Muir. Corcoran couldn't gather. It was a hot one at that. Jones took them on and was tackled, taken to the ground. And we'll get a ball up. There's the restart. Muir at the sit, was dragged down. Muir wanted the hold, denied. Loose ball and a push in the back. Free kick's going to go the way of Sunbury. And it'll go to Corcoran. So right on 50. Now that's a squaring, dangerous kick. To Sutton, went through his hands. He had a good leap at it. Soccer there from Romerell, going about 20 metres, but Miller did the fielding, fed the ball back by hand. Chance there for Boyd, standing start. Sutton, second grab, couldn't get a hold of it. Loose ball, and we'll get a ball up. 35 to 40 metres away from the Sunbury goal. East Point 22, Sunbury 17. 9.5 minutes into this match of the round fixture. Third place on the line. Both sides will be well aware of the benefits of finishing third or higher in this competition. Tap one by Van Meel. The gather was good there from Sutton. Rode the tackle to the ground. A cop one high, said the umpire. I did see contact above the head, or above the shoulders, and it was just all about interpretation there. Did Sutton lead with the head? If he did, no free kick. If he was perceived not to by the umpire, then it was adjudged a high tackle and a shot on goal here for Stevens. Elijah just feeding me the emojis throughout the explanation of what had just transpired. It's Sutton. Kicks on its way, and he makes no mistake on this occasion, Sutton. And Sunbury get the lead here at Eastern Oval. Sutton gets his third. Sunbury 3-5-23, lead East Point 3-4-22. Got time for a little sneak around the grounds. Normally I've got to wait for a larger kick through the goals to have time to get through them before the ball is retrieved. But Ballarat were defeating Darley at our last look. That was a surprise. Bacchus Marsh lead North Ballarat by 28. Darley lead Ballarat by 7. Melton lead Redan by 8. And Sebastopol lead Lake Windaree by 51. Under sunny skies and a rainbow here at Eastern Oval. It's just like somebody turned the brightness up on the television. Nice and bright here at Eastern Oval in the second week in July. How long it'll last? About as long as my phone battery. Chance for Johnson. High up and under kick. Forward. Hucker the target. So too Brown. Brown was happy to get it over the line and get the troops forward for a boundary throw in some 35 metres around from the East Point goal. Throw in. Shallow one at that. Coles wanted one over the shoulder tonight. Matty Johnson. Excellent smother there from Egan on that attempt there from Johnson. Follow-up good from Egan. And a starring game in the interleague game last week. His kick went beyond centre wing. Foot race on here. Sutton leading in the race to the ball. Clever little soccer. They got a defining forward 50 entry here as the gather there from Muir. It was like a small man. Hand pass let him down a bit. Made it difficult for Cook. They got some numbers here. Slippery ball. Was due from a little bit of rain overhead. Johnson. Speak of Geordie. Got it to outer centre wing. Miller's got some toe onto that left boot. Found Cook. Just inside the boundary line. So Cook, he took his time for the kick, didn't let him down, and he found Egan. McLean, excuse me. So McLean will go back and have a shot on goal here. What was McLean more? 15 in the interleague. Got to let that go. McLean. From 45 metres out, we'll have a shot on goal here. Breakout season around goal last year. Is that a good season? Just beyond the goal front. Attack, forward pressure, all good. And how's his kick? Pretty good off the boot. And Sunbury get back-to-back goals here at the Eastern Oval. They get their biggest leader of the game, albeit 7 points. 13 and a half minutes into this second term. Sunbury 4-5-29. Lead East Point 3-4-22. So Sutton has 3 for Sunbury. McLean now 1. Whilst for East Point, McDougall, Brown and Dodd share the spoils in on the goal front here. Sunbury in front here. So ball use has been a bit better than East Point's. Ball up. Tap forward there by McLean. Power. Missed the target. Meant for Cook. Stevens. Geordie Johnson. Found Jeffrey. Went by hand to Jones. Lever. Rare fumble. Dropped what he should have taken. Now's an opportunity for Tentadello, who read it well off the boot. Despite Brown running full bore at him. Was able to take a quality defensive mark. Went into the middle of the ground. Thompson had a bit of it. Speak of Hamish. Hurried rebound kick. Shallow entry inside 50. A Lux of fortune. And Jones has pushed forward and taken a mark 50 metres out from goal. So the few shots we've had on goal this afternoon from 50 metres or beyond have all fallen short, given the nature of that swirly breeze. So let's see if Jones can buck the trend for Kangas supporters and thread this one and get them back within a point. So right on 50. Kicks on its way. Yep. It's a great game, this. We've got a 1-point ball game at Eastern Oval. And Jones gets his first, kept it low, took the breeze out of it. Has got the Kangas back within a point, and he becomes East Point's 4th individual goal scorer of the afternoon. So collectively, just the 3 goals kicked in that opening term. In simple terms, it really was an arm wrestle of sorts. But already 5 goals in this term collectively and 15 minutes gone. So game starting to open up here. And it's Sunbury who lead by a point after they trailed at quarter time by 6. Back at the restart. Geordie Johnson foraging. Get a ball up here. Tap one by Van Meel. First and second one. Oh, look out. Good pressure there from Jeffrey on Parker. Jones will take the advantage here, but he'll have to come back. So Jeffrey with ball in hand, who was laid out for the Interleague last week with a glute complaint, but right to go this afternoon. He and Howard, who had some hamstring tightness. But Kenny and Cairns flew the flag for East Point and for the Ballarat League last week. So Jeffrey, awkward looking kick. Another one of those almost entries there from the Kangas, and Cook will see it over the line. Yeah, the entry kick from East Point in these opening 2 quarters. I don't know whether it's the accountability of Sunbury behind the ball. But, yeah, they're normally a lot better. Boundary throw in. Dodd fighting hard for it. Good pressure there from Sunbury. Oh, he's paid it. Holding the ball. Well, if they keep it up all afternoon, I'm happy with that. So Parker goes with the right boot. Out the direction there of Mewett. It went over his head. Chance at Jones, he couldn't keep it in. We get a boundary throw in on half forward out of sight of the ground for East Point, who trail by 1 point. Near 18 minutes gone second term. Now Van Meel, he had one arm over Muir. It's got to be a free kick to Sunbury. While it was soft, it was there. Right foot kick into the middle of the ground. Been cut off there by Romerell. So he plays on and goes to Merritt, who goes with the right boot to half forward. Lever drop what he should have taken. Hucker, ground level, couldn't impact. Neither could Boyd. Open the door for the dangerous Dodd on his non-preferred right as a snapshot across the body. Dodd's got 2 here at Eastern Oval. But East get back the lead. See, Tyson Lever would be disappointed with that. He read that entry well, like he has done for the most part this afternoon. They've been pretty honest behind the footy, Sunbury. But he just spilt the mark and Dodd swooped on the footy. Just showed his versatility, both sides of the body. Which is not often a given for left footers. Some lefties are pretty much paralysed on the right-hand side, but not Dodd. Tap one there by Muir. Loose ball. Gathered there by Brown. Took on the tackle of Cook. Some pressure there from Gallant. Not before East could get it way through Johnson. They got it to Merritt. Back to Matty Johnson. Standing start. Another one of those awkward drop punts. Cut off there by Egan. Kick must have gone about 9 metres, but enough, said the umpire. To Egan. Trudges away. That familiar gate. Left foot kick to space. Running onto it was Corcoran. Good pressure there on Howard. Loose hand pass. Cut off there by Pearce, who went to Cook. The Tattoos combined. Gave it to Stevens, who gave it to Power. And he finished the job. And Sunbury restore the lead here at Eastern Oval. 20 minutes gone, second term. Went back to a 1-point ball game. Good finish there from Power. 5-4 plays 5-5. And the visitors in front. Really has been a goal for goal affair here at Eastern Oval. Back-to-back goals, hard to come by. As we enter, time on, second term. Sun has disappeared on the light front. Free kick, it's going to go the way of East Point. And it'll go to Geordie Johnson in the middle of the ground. Stops, props, and then standing start, delivers forward to a one-on-one. Brown the target, McDougall, was it? McDougall's got it. Yep, good use of the body. Surprised to see Brown playing more deeper forward there than McDougall. And well, he's quite the prominent player, McDougall. I think he's still underrated more broadly. When you've got some big guns, sometimes you can fly under the radar, but I've got McDougall in the big gun category. And the kick is one of a big gun, and McDougall gets his second. And the goal-for-goal nature of this contest here in BFNL's match of the round continues. Entertaining affair. McDougall gets his second. And we're up and away on the score front, as I alluded to earlier in this term. After a 2-1 first term, we've had a 4 goals apiece second term, and still time to play. Back at the restart, it'll be Coles and Van Meel. Van Meel with a deliberate advantage tap there to no one. Gee, they went in hard there, and Cairns was the beneficiary who kept his feet, went wide into the Hucker direction. Board the pursuant, but the boundary line beat him. And we're going to throw in East Point in attack. Geez, they went down like dominoes there, just inside the centre square. East Point lead by 5 points. Throw in. Van Meel with another decisive tap. McDougall with strength. He's held up. We'll get a ball up. 22 and a half minutes gone in this second term. Tap one by Van Meel. 3 in a row for the big fella. This one only went as far as Cameron. Caught on his non-preferred. High up and under kick on the left foot. And Geordie Johnson's taken a courageous mark. Had to wait under it. Under that high ball. Speaking of top guns, this guy may well be the maverick of the East Point side. A shot on goal here from 45 to add to his already impressive season. Kicked 19 goals and been in the best 10 of 11. It's a handy resume. It goes back some years now. And the kick, well, was worthy of the earlier grade. So commentators curse. So Lever, the beneficiary, will get Sunbury out of trouble momentarily, but he went short. They're not out of it yet, Sunbury, but Wood got on the end of it to save the day. He's got Gallant broadcast side. That was good play, good direction there from Gallant. He drew the man Brown to ensure they went short to Riley, but there's a turnover opportunity for Canning, who went long to the top of the square. Excellent ball there from Newitt to save the day. And a rush behind for the hosts. We're back to a 1-goal ball game. 6-point lead to East Point. That was the quarter time margin as well. We've been playing 24 minutes into this second term. So Hannett will bring the ball back into play, and he runs his measure and some, and fires the ball into the middle of the ground. And Q just marked it uncontested right in the middle of the ground. So he goes to half forward. Stevens went back. It was Miller, in fact. Jeffrey couldn't impact. We'll get a ball up. Time ticking away in this most entertaining match of the round. Each point by 6 points. Van Meal, good tap. Matty Johnson, across the body. Dangerous here for Sunbury. Attack on the footy was good there from Lever. Urban leads into the race for the ball for East Point. Clever little tap. Was meant for Hucker, was it? Indeed it was. And we'll get a ball up. "34 players in East Point's half of the ground as we speak. Brown held up there by Gallant. We'll get a ball up some 35 metres away from the East Point goal, who led by 6 at quarter time. And that lead remains at 6, despite 3 or 4 lead changes in this second term. Hurried kick out of defence was a high up and under territory game there for Sunbury. Good tap there from Romerell towards Q. Kick smothered. Cairns didn't bend, so it ricocheted up his boot. Second attempt. High up and under kick went forward. Look out, McDougall, the beneficiary. Kick across the body was good. And McDougall gets his third. So McDougall at one end with 3, Sutton at the other with 3. We're trying to sneak in a score from around the grounds here. We've got a regional footy moment. Someone's got to go and get the footy or catch the guy who ran away with it. Bacchus Marsh 49, lead North Ballarat 17. Ballarat 33, Darley 33. Melton 38, Redan 37. Lake Windermere 28, Sebastopol 77. Gee, some interest there at Alberton Oval. Scores level between ladder leaders Darley and Ballarat. And Melton not getting it all their own way at McPherson Park, just leading by 1 against 9th place Redan. Back at the restart. Chancellor McLean has gone into the middle, fed the ball by hand to Power. Got onto that right boot, set the ball forward. Sutton in front. Good knock spoiled at the back there from Howard. Loose ball opportunity here for Stevens. He couldn't gather. Gee, that was nearly a high tackle. Of course, the hosts wanted holding the ball. But we'll get a ball up in Sunbury's forward line here. As time ticks away, 27 and a half minutes in this second term, but a number of goals more often equate to a longer than normal quarter. Matty Johnson will keep the ball in. High up and under clearing kick. Gained about 55 metres, but waiting underneath it. Marking an uncontested in the end there was Wood, who hit the woodwork a little bit earlier. He went short. Kick was okay to Hannett. He's 70 metres out, nearly almost not beyond him. He went deep towards Egan. Jones led with the head. And we'll get a ball up. Each Point 47, Sunbury 35. 28 minutes gone, second term. 3 minutes to go. 3.5 in this second term, thank you. Sutton kept it in front of him, then just fell over at the crucial stage, tried to feed the ball by hand. Couldn't get it past the legs of Canning, and we'll get a ball up. Right in front of the Pack Social Club here at Eastern Oval. No doubt they'll work their way into the game in the second half. Ball up. Chance for Q. Just fed the ball boundary side. And Howard couldn't gather cleanly, and we'll get a boundary throw in. It's an important 12-point lead to East Point. Near 29 minutes gone in this second term. Throw in. Van Meal. Good tap. Brown. Gather. Wanted the hold. And he'll get it. Be a good fisherman, Brown. Just threw the line over. Got the bite. Got the free. So Brown will go to outer centre wing. And the boundary will find, ball will find its way over the boundary line once again. So East Point have booted 5 goals in this term to Sunbury's 4. Been an entertaining affair on the score front. Throw in. Ground ball opportunity. Johnson was the cleanest. Speak of Matty, and sent the ball forward. Clean bowled McDougall. Chance here for Riley. Gathered. Oh, that was a clever tap back towards Hannett. His hand pass was smothered. Here come the reinforcements. Jeffrey, one of those for the Kangas. Geordie Johnson amongst the swarm of players. And desperate Sunbury defence will get a ball up. 30 minutes gone, second term. East Point lead by 12 points after they led by 6 at quarter time. Tap one by Coles. Geordie Johnson just threw the head back. Or in the Jacob Brown case, threw the line in but didn't get a bite. Still anybody's game. Even share of the footy. Dodd met the ball, front on, and then was held up. We'll get a ball up. True centre half forward here for East Point. We'd love a late one. Endeavouring to make it 14 in a row at Eastern Oval, if you don't mind. 10-0 took Geordie Johnson, unlucky to get away with it. Loose ball kick forward. Gathered cleanly there by McDougall. Should have fed it by hand. Elected to go over the shoulder. Won't quite get the territory. Hucker did well, but couldn't hang on to the mark, and it's come off hands and gone through for a minor score. Gee, there was a handball give opportunity there for McDougall, but elected to do it himself. I just want to check that scoreboard there. It's 7-5, not 7-22 just yet. Tendanello. Nice catch taken in the slips there by Slater. It's not Michael, it's Geordie. So Slater from broadcast centre wing. Goes with the right boot towards the attacking 50. Good spoil on the ball there from Lever to the safety of the boundary line. Geez, a good defender. Closing speed and reach. It was Egan, but Egan and Lever both. Looks like Egan caught one in the you-know-whats. 13-point lead to East Point. Power. Fed the ball by hand. And they're away here through Pearce. Just a territory gain, really. Lacked a bit of composure. Q will do the mopping up. Ran his measure. True centre wing out of side. Sent the ball forward. And a nice grab taken there by McDougall. So he'll have a deliberate approach here. And he too will endeavour to score from the 50-metre range as Jones did earlier. It's plenty on the kick, but it's right and always right and out of bounds on the full. So no score added to McDougall on that occasion. Sunbury negotiate out of defence. So he had it. Had Miller short, but went the long option. And why wouldn't you when you kick the ball like that? Corcoran took an excellent grab. 2 youngsters going hard at it. Oh, now he's in trouble. And Ping for holding the ball. So there was some confusion there. Not only from the Lions and East Point, but Dodd to the hot spot. Bouncing ball just goes across the face and rolls through for a minor score. Gee, Cochrane didn't know what was going on there, but neither did the other 35 players on the ground. So that would have been a real bonus there for East Point late in this second term, but their margin, 14 points. So Lever goes short. The kick's okay and found Wood. So Wood with ball in hand as time ticks away in this second term. Gee. Grass cutter, but it was good to McLean. Became broadcast side to Hannett, who's still inside Sunbury's defensive 50. Out in front of Egan. Couldn't quite hang on. Thompson. Dodd. Dropped it. And as Egan gathered and kicked, the halftime siren sounded here. And we're witnessing a most entertaining contest as East Point led at quarter time by 6. They now lead by 14. They're 7-7-49. Sunbury 5-5-35. Let's just take a look at the goal scorers for East Point. McDougall has 3. Dodd 2. And 1 each to Brown and Jones. That's Billy Jones. And whilst for Sunbury, Sutton has 3, McLean and Power the other 2. So each point booted 5 goals to Sunbury's 4 in that term to extend on their quarter-time advantage. Guys, we'll get an update score from around the grounds in BFNL football before we take our main break of the afternoon. So some tight ones going around and some teams in the bottom half testing teams at the top, which is very good. But Bacchus Marsh, all guns blazing in Tyson Shea's 300th game today. 49. They lead North Ballarat 17. Ballarat 33. Darley 45. Melton 38. Renan 37. Lake Windermere 34. Sebastopol 77. So, guys, some interesting games going on around the BFNL, but none more entertaining than this one, I assure you. It's East Point 7-7-49, who leads Sunbury 5-5-35. 14-point lead to the hosts, endeavouring to make it 14 wins in a row over near 3 seasons, East Point. So, Sunbury, yep, they got the task ahead. Guys, a break, back with the second half action in around 10 minutes' time.
It must have been.
When else could you have a burger where the buns are pancakes? Macca's new McGriddles. Brekkie comes first.
Welcome back to Eastern Oval ahead of the second half action of BFNL's round 12 match of the round. It's East Point, who led by 6 points at quarter time. And after they coughed up the lead a couple of times in that second term, were able to steady late and acquire a 14-point lead at the main break. Not far off a start here. Shadow starting to encroach on City Oval. We'll endeavour to keep you updated with scores around the BFNL as they come to hand. Sunbury to kick to the left of screen in this third term. Get a ball up. He knew it in the ruck. Tries to knock it to his own advantage. And it provides the support. Geez, he's met solidly there. Umpire called play on. And we'll get a ball up. Some heat on the ball from Jones. He doesn't mind doing that. So it'll be Muir. He's giving Coles a bit of a spell in the ruck and a well-deserved break, mind you. Ball up. Muir won the tap, went through the hands of Jones. Merritt gathered, touch of the fumbles. Jones knocked it defensively to Thompson, who was held up by Egan. We'll get a ball up. 14-point lead to East Point, endeavouring to hang on to their third place standing in the BFNL. Hot footy, like the game started. Loose ball. Hannett got on the end of it. Who fed it to Power, to Boyd, who got around Geordie Johnson. Who would have enjoyed that moment. Right foot kick forward from Boyd has hit up. Knew it on the lead. And a shot on goal here for Newitt. He's been quite effective by foot today, Boyd. So it'll be Newitt with ball in hand. Skilled talent, versatile player, can play either end. But for the here and now, for Sunbury, he needs to get it done in the front half. So for the first goal of the third term, and to get Sunbury within 8 points, Newitt's kick, as you can tell by the crowd, has gone through the hey diddle diddle, and the margin is back to 8 points here at Eastern Oval. Near 2 minutes gone, third term. We'll get an 8-point ball game, and Newitt adds his name to the contributors on the goal front for Sunbury, joining McLean and Power, and Sutton at the top with 3. So Newitt. So it'll be Muir in the ruck against Van Meel. So the fresher body won that tap. Speaker Muir to Egan. High up and under kick. Excellent attempt to mark in front there by Corcoran. Didn't hang on for long enough. His second effort was good to square away a stoppage on Howard. And we'll get a ball up. So it's got quite vocal on field too. It's game on here at Eastern Oval. Ball up, tap one by Van Meel to Merritt. It was cleaner on that occasion. High up and under kick towards half back. Boyd at the back couldn't impact the marking attempt of Brown, who marked cleanly in the end. So he's looking for an option, and he goes towards McDougall, and why wouldn't you? As he presents and marks cleanly, squares the footy into the middle of the ground to Geordie Johnson, who feeds the ball wide to Dodd. Feed the ball by hand to Howard, who's pushed up to half forward. Entry inside 50, meant for Hucker, overcooked the kick. Chance for Hannett. Good pressure there from East Point. Lever, clearing kick. Was lucky in the end. Fell in the hands of McLean, who wasted no time sending the ball forward. Because he got Sutton out the back. Now Newitt will endeavour to get away from Thompson here and provide. There's a short option here, though, for Sutton, and he'll take that. And it's Parker from 49 metres. Off to the right. No need to get the Parker pen out for that one. Out of bounds on the full. 49 East Point leads Sunbury 41. 8-point ball game. Match of the round action. Living up to the billing. Thompson. Short kick. Hit up was okay. Found Jones. So Jones. Dangerous kick. Was effective nonetheless and found Geordie Johnson. Stopped and propped. Tried to get Egan to go over the line and then he turned over the kick. They haven't been at their best by foot today, East Point, even though they lead this game by 8 points. Gallant, short. The kick was okay. Found Tentanello off half-back. Right foot kick to outer side half forward. Cook leading into the race for the ball. He's opposing number 23 in Jones. Will just see it over the line with him for a boundary throw-in on half forward outer side for Sunbury. So a 14-point lead at half-time has been reduced to 8 by Sunbury on the back of that Newitt goal. It could have been a trip to Cameron. Umpire said no. High up and under kick to outer centre wing. Lever. Effect did enough from here at least to get a fist on the footy and get it over the line for a boundary throw-in on centre wing. Outer side of the ground. Tick over 5 minutes gone in this third term. Social Club ready to launch. Right of screen in the event of it. East Point forward 50, but for the moment, the majority of play in Sunbury's front half in this third term, and has equated to that only goal through Newitt. So we'll get a boundary throw in. So it'll be Muir and Van Meel. Tap one there by Muir. Umpire's picked out a free kick for a hold. It's going to go to Muir. So some fresh legs into the ruck, and Muir sends the ball deep into the pocket. Players fly. Egan had a bit of it. Umpire called play on. Parker over the footy. Just shoveled it out of bounds in the end. No real intent to keep it in. Right forward pocket for Sunbury. They trail by 8 points. Throw in. McLean wanted the hold. Denied. Newitt held up in the tackle. We'll get a ball up this time. 40 metres away from the Sunbury goal. Near 7 minutes gone. Loose ball goes boundary side. Johnson was clean. Speak of Geordie. This kick, well, just ricocheted over the line. We'll get a throw in. Under the digital scoreboard here at East Denoble, 7 minutes gone, it reads. And East Point with a slender 8-point advantage. Games had no more than 2 goals. Well, at least for the majority between the two sides. So East Point gets some movement forward to McDougall on centre wing. Now, Dodd provides the run and he finally gives it to the left footer. And it was too late in the end, giving that. There is a skill set in releasing that handball. And Dodd just ran out of space in the end. We're going to throw in 55 metres around from the East Point goal. And we're just making marginal gains towards that celebratory Social Club. Jones, speak of Billy, bereft of option. Low kick to Brown. Got to him on the full. And he just took it above the grass. An important catch at ground level from Brown. And he'll go back and have a shot on goal here. Not dissimilar to the angle that he took on in that first term. But some 10 metres closer. So if he thought he would get the first one that missed, this journey won't be a problem. So a chance to square the ledger in this third term with a goal apiece. It'll be Jacob Brown for his second of the afternoon. He'll kick from just inside 50. Kicks on its way. Off to the right. Players fly. Big spoil. Opportunity here for Cairns. Took his time. Squaring kick there from the youngster there in Jones to Dodd. Second grab, got it. Wow. Gee, he took his time there, Cairns, in that right forward pocket there for he's got the benefit of the doubt of the umpire. And then that squaring kick there from young Jones found Dodd, who has a chance to kick his third and get the lead back to 14. Dodd, laconic delivery, did it easily. And East get their 8th, their first of the third term. And the margin back to 14 here at Eastern Oval. So Joe Dodd joins Bryce McDougall and Jake Sutton on the lead goal-scoring front this afternoon with 3 apiece. And we did touch on the importance and the elevation of Dodd's stocks in the fortunes of East Point moving forward in the absence of Alex Boland. And he hasn't let his side down today after quite a lengthy layoff of his own ahead of his kickstart to the season against the Devils at Darley Park a month ago. 14-point lead to East Point. Coles back into the ruck. Tap one by Van Meel. Only went as far as Cameron. Right foot kick inside 50. Out and good gather there from Newitt. Fit it back to Cook. Hair pass over the top. Bouncing ball. Quick hair pass towards Corcoran. One too many from Sunbury. And Howard knocked it through for a rush behind. So McLean a little too unselfish on that occasion. So Merritt will bring the ball back into play. And he goes out of side of the ground towards half-back. Good ball on the ball there by Coles. Dodd again. Confidence up. Fed the ball by hand to Kenny. Had his head ripped off. And I'm 200 metres away. No free kick given. As Dodd throws the ball back to the umpire and Kenny picks his head up off the ground. We'll get a restart. Tap one by Van Meel to Dodd. Just tried to hand it to Geordie Johnson, but then almost ran into each other. So Dodd took on the kicking duties and sent the ball towards half forward, and we'll get another stoppage. But plenty of those this afternoon. Hard-fought match. Predominantly played on the inside, really. There's been a great deal of, overlap for a highlights reel. Now, Coles knocks it forward towards out of centre wing. Now, Cook, good side step. Oh, then he fell over at the crucial time, but fed the ball to Coles. Just needs to sit up for Miller. Didn't have to break stride and went long with the territory game. No composure. It's been cut off there by Thompson, who'll come broadcast side. Both sides have been guilty of that today, those entries. And they negotiate their way out of defence. And Jones, juggling attempt, will get paid there was no signal there from the umpire, so it was Mark Andor chop. So Jones goes short, kicks okay to Jeffrey. So he's got to huck it short if he wants. High up and under kick's going to make it difficult aerially. Presenting was Kenny, couldn't hang on. Ground ball opportunity, gets out the back to Kenny. He was one of the few to keep his feet. Sent the ball into attack towards the McDougall direction. How about the gather? But the pressure was good defensively. Wanted the hold, McDougall. It was almost a how's that from the key forward. Not out, said the umpire. We're going to ball up 50 metres away from the East Point goal. 13-point lead to the Kangas. Call that even. Cameron, standing start, territory gain. Broadcast centre wing. That just needs to sit up for Corcoran. It did on this occasion. Good vision. Found Sutton on half forward. So Cook over the top if he wants in. And now he goes there, but he goes the longer option to McLean. He just got some separation on Slater on that occasion. And McLean will go back and have an opportunity to narrow the margin. Back to 7. Tick over 13 minutes gone in this third term here. We've had some good weather predominantly right throughout this footy season in the BFNL. And it helps when the grounds are so good. So it'll be McLean. He'll kick from about 40 metres. Gets plenty on the kick. Now it's all about the accuracy. It looks left. And Howard just helps it on its way. Through for a rushed behind. 2-goal ball game. Each point 8-7. Sunbury 6-7. That's the tail of the tape. 14 minutes gone third term. Live action from Eastern Oval. Third v fourth. Merritt brings the ball back into play. Geordie Johnson the target. Good use of the body there on Boyd. And 50. So that was a little clumsy there from the Lion. So it'll be Geordie Johnson. So he gets from half back to half forward and he wheels onto that right boot. Goes out in the direction of Brown and McDougall. No mark taken. Ground ball opportunity. Brown might have caught one high before he was carried over the line for a boundary throw-in. Just 15 metres around from the East Point goal. Gee, given the type of play here this afternoon, 50-metre penalties, geez, they hurt. Boundary throw-in. Ground ball opportunity here. Plenty asked the Sunbury. Coles was desperate, the big man. Knocked it boundary side towards Power. But it knocked away from him there by Romerell. We'll get a boundary throw in. 25 to 30 metres around from the East Point goal. 15 minutes gone, third term. 12-point lead to the hosts. McDougall at the back. Through traffic, Jones. Left foot. Sets the Social Club alight. So he runs out there with the fist pump. And now a 3-goal lead to East Point. Just seemingly making more of their opportunity. They seem to have a little extra option forward. Just one more, 1.5. That's enough than Sunbury do at the moment. The lead 3 goals. East Point 9-7-61, Sunbury 6-7-43. Near 16 minutes gone in this third term. Billy Jones gets his second of the day. Becomes the third multiple goal scorer for the Kangas. So it'll be Van Meel and Coles to contest the ruck duty. Tap one by Van Meel. Confidence up for the Kangas at the moment. Now Gallant fed the ball by hand. Was hopeful. Finally got it to Hannett, who took on the tackle of Johnson and took too long, said the umpire. Free kick will come back to Geordie Johnson. He goes short. Kick was okay to Billy Jones. And he'll go to the pocket. Looking for McDougall. Found him. So McDougall, gee, I've seen him kick one from here in the past, but given the nature of the breeze, this would take his best. So Merritt's going to try and run around the back of McDougall here. So McDougall from 50. Kick right, always right, and snuck it through for a behind in the end. Handy point, though. Here's a footy vernacular. That's beyond the 3 goals now. Is it not? No, 18 points. So Lever brings the ball towards broadcast centre wing. Went through the hands of Bygate. Oh, that pickup was terrific from the youngster. He got it to Corcoran. So a couple of the next gens combined. High up and under made it difficult for Sutton. He infringed in the end. And the advantage has been paid. Now Thompson's in trouble. Just got ball to boot. And right place, right time. Slater, if you don't mind. He's got Jones. Goal kick smothered by Tendanello. Just needs to be clean with the gather. Parker can feed the ball, and he does. He gets it to McLean. Look out. Chance here for Power. He's got some toe, and he backs himself in with the left foot kick along the line. Made it difficult for Corcoran. And the ball rolls over the line for a boundary throw-in. 18 minutes gone. So 2-1 this term in favour of East Point. Throw in, tap one by Van Meel. Could have been held. Umpire called play on. Just stolen there by Merritt. Somehow got boot to ball. Hot footy here. How about the gather there from Cameron, who fed it towards Parker, who set the ball forward. Ground ball opportunity for Newitt. Set up okay for him, but the finish let him down just off to the right. And they're within 17, Sunbury. Newitt just missing that opportunity for a second goal of his own for the third term. So Merritt goes wide to Slater, who held his position well. Marked cleanly overhead. Kick made it difficult for Geordie Johnson. Now he's in trouble because Sunbury have got numbers here. Oh, Egan just tried to do a little bit too much. But he's going to get a free kick here. It's going to go the way of Corcoran. So it just happened off the footy prior to Egan's effort to get through the traffic. So it's an important kick here from Cochrane. So he sends the ball wide. Good attack on the footy there from Jones. They feed the ball towards the big fella there in Van Meel. Got a little boot to ball on the back of the pressure from Pearce. And then he went as far as Sutton. And he swarmed and we'll get a ball up. So we're near into time on in this third term. Each point with a handy 17-point lead here. Tap one by Newitt on that occasion. Pearce met the ball. Couldn't gather. Jones could though. Fed the ball to Howard, but his kick's been turned over. Tendanello to Egan. He's got Wood in the middle of the ground if he wants him. Now he's got Gallant in the middle. But he won't go there. He'll go wide to the pocket. Newitt the target. Forced to do the spoil as he came from behind. Merritt did the roving and carried it over for a boundary throw-in. Tick over 20 minutes gone in this third term at Eastern Oval. 9-7 plays 6-8 throw-in. Sutton tried for the free. Wasn't afforded it by the umpire. Clearing kick there from Cairns. Got beyond out of centre wing. Lever will do the mopping up to Wood. He can get it back here. Lever. Just tipped it over the top to Tendanello. Brown just fell over in the quagmire, much to his own disappointment. Sent the ball forward. Good spoil on the ball from Thompson. Chance for Cook. Tried to knock it to the advantage of Corcoran. Some good pressure there from Egan. We'll get a ball up 40 metres out from the Sunbury goal. Gee, the East Point defence has held up well in this third term. He's denied Sunbury, essentially. Just kept them to the one goal. So Sunbury yet to get bang for buck as Merritt with the clearing kick beyond the defensive 50. Could have got the hand pass towards Brown there, but denied. Chance for Lever. Fed the ball to Wood. Now he's on his left foot. Normally good. Excellent spoil on the ball there from Thompson, but the umpire's picked out a free kick. It's going to go the way of Q. And he'll get the Kangas out of trouble. It's been a good quarter for the East Point defence. We've been under the pump for the most part. Van Meel should have marked the football. Just a lack of communication there as Wood stole it and sent the ball wide into the pocket. Missed everything. Went out of bounds on the full. Jake Egan a bit sore. Don't know whether it's got a stinger in the ankle. And turnover. The kick in from Howard was cut off there by Newitt. And a shot on goal coming. So this would be a real boost for Sunbury, especially on the back of a front half turnover. And more importantly, it'll get Sunbury back within 11 points. Time on final third term. So Newitt kicks on its way. Oh, another opportunity gone begging there for Sunbury. 6-9, 45 now. So two more scoring shots at East Point, but they trail by 16. Take that back. One less scoring opportunity. And they trail by 16. So Jacob Brown's gone down to lend some assistance in the back half. Right foot kick. Mule the fly. Couldn't hang on. Good spoil. Caddy did the sharking. Gallant's got a paddock here. Just needs to be composed, and he was. Was well done. Now Hannah can transfer play to the outer side. Right foot kick was okay and found Bygate. Can give it back to Parker if he likes, but he fell over at the crucial stage. Opened the door for the Kangas through Dodd, who fed the ball to Jones. Back to Dodd. Left foot kick into the pocket. Loose ball opportunity. Rummerall fed the ball over the top. Needs to sit for McDougall. Can he knock it forward? Nearly took too long. Umpire let him get away with it. Look out. It's come bounced off the knee of Cairns and rolled through for a behind. Bit of heart in your mouth stuff there at both ends. And then Hannett's shanked one out of full back. But having left the goal square, it's a boundary throw-in. 55 metres away from the East Point goal, who lead by 17. Throw in. Van Meel won the tap. Jones. Got it to Billy Jones. Through traffic, tried to get it to Van Meel. Chance here for Egan. Hand pass was hopeful. Now Power tried to go the soccer off the ground. Well, Geordie Johnson threw it out to Cairns. Blind turn back in traffic. Ping for holding the ball. That was a bit messy. So Cook with ball in hand. Goes short to Egan. Kick went 11 metres. Can go back to Cook if he likes with another 11-metre kick, but the umpire said no, that one didn't go the required, and arguably went further than the first one. But Lucks of Fortune too high against Jones, and they'll get a second opportunity here, Sunbury through Cook, who went for another one of those 11-metre stab passes to number 11 in Hannett, who went to Tendinello. Now they've got some speed on the footy. Through Gallant. Fed the ball to Parker. Back to Gallant. This could be the goal of the day. Set sail for the judge. And got there. Goal of the day, Miles Gallant. Take a bow. That's what this game's been looking for some time now. Some good run and carry and overlap and finishing. And it's got its just reward too. Back to an 11-point ball game in favour of East Point. But Gallant, that run and dash off half-back. You won't see a better goal in transition. Back at the restart. Middle of the ground here. Time on. Third term. East Point lead by 11 points. 2 goals apiece in this third term. Coles, Van Meel, swing and a miss. And we'll get a ball up. So the two big men go at it to no real advantage once again. Soccer off the ground went towards half forward for East Point. Hannett leading into the race for the ball. Jeffrey got an important soccer on it. Out there towards Romerell, who couldn't keep it in. But East Point will be happy having it back in their front half in time on in this third term. 9-8 to 7-9. 11-point lead. Throw in. That one by Van Meel. And we'll get another stoppage. See, these teams will sleep well tonight. Some of the umpires, mind you. They've a bit to do today. Opportunity for Egan, who's held up. So he hasn't been able to break away today, Egan. They've been really honest against the Sunbury Premier midfielder. So they'll run and dash with the right ball of Power, who found Sutton on centre wing other side of the ground. So last roll of the dice in this third term for Sunbury, you'd think. So they need to use the ball well. The kick was okay. Found Power. Next kick all important. Hit up. There was good pressure there from Kenny. Shark there by Howard. Fed the ball to Dodd. Kick across the body. Was a hit and hope. Jones grabbed it cleanly. Made the kick look better than what it was. And was pinged. Holding the ball. Excellent tackle by Tendinello. Jones took the tackler on. Tendinello went over the top and turned it over. And quite a number of turnovers today. So it is the pressure of the occasion. So Kenny has gone on the end of that short kick from Dodd, who's not in a hurry to move the ball on. Sent the ball to half forward. Ground ball opportunity for Lever, who fed the ball by hand. Only as far as Cairns, who shoveled it out. Standing start, Jones. Half forward. So grab taken in front. Umpire said no. Was touched. Had to have been. Ball up. Neither ruckman could impact. We get a ball up. Yeah. When Jeffrey brought that, what we thought was a mark down, gave every indication he didn't think it was touched, but clearly he was, given he hung on to the grab. Ball up. Double fist tap there from Coles. Now Tendinello, he's had a good game. got the free and the advantage through Coles, who gave it to Power one way and another. And he's run too far. Travel, said the umpire. Frustrating decision, that one. Again, good defensive pressure there from Sunbury. I'll get it out of bounds here for a throw in. It has been a seesawing arm wrestle. Both sides have enjoyed periods in front on the scoreboard. East Point primarily, though, having led at both changes. Oh, that was a push against Van Meel. And then he threw it on the boot. Will it be 50 against? No. So it'll be Coles, who's fought doggedly in the ruck today. For Sunbury. 30-minute quarter. Just keep the ball safe. And he did and found Power. So can they get... Well, time will beat them nonetheless. It's East Point, who led by 14 points at halftime. Sunbury have narrowed that margin to 11. Still anybody's game. East Point 9-8-62 leads Sunbury 7-9-51. Let's take a look at the goal scorers. For the leading East Point, McDougall has 3, Dodd 3, 2 to Billy Jones and 1 to Jacob Brown. Whilst for Sunbury, Sutton has 3. And Newitt, McLean and Power have the others. Guys, we'll just take a look at scores from around the grounds before we take our final break of the afternoon. Let's see how we go. Round 12 action around the BFNL. It's a 12-point lead after that correction to the scoreboard. East Point 9-9, Sunbury 7-9. Back of Smash, 83, lead North Ballarat 41. Ballarat 55, trail Darley 70. Melton 81, lead Redan 57. And Sebastopol 95, lead Lake Minderee 48. So we've got a game on here. This looks the closest of the lot going around the BFNL today. It's East Point who leads Sunbury by 12 points. A break and back with the final quarter action in around 5 minutes' time.
When else could you have a burger where the buns are pancakes? Macca's new McGriddles. Brekkie comes first.
Welcome back to Eastern Oval ahead of the final quarter action in BFNL's match of the round. Round 12, third place on the line. Some separation for East Point if they can go 2 games clear of Sunbury. But in the event of Sunbury overcoming this 12-point deficit, they will move into third, percentage ahead of East. No, Matty Johnson done for the rest of the day. And he went off at half-time. No clarity on the injury, but that'll be a big watch post-match. But for the here and now, play underway. Van Meel won the tap. Geordie Johnson through traffic. This is better. Good footy from centre-half forward. Sent the ball long. McDougall! Perfect start for the Kangas. Opening minute of this final term. He runs around and kicks his fourth. Tees are up and about in their three-quarter time huddle. East Point. Some of the words I can't share with you on air, but they were purposeful, meaningful, and full of intent. And I'm sure that wasn't to the person that are running the lights here because they've now been turned on. And no doubt not on the back of that messaging. So the lights into play here. And East Point kicked the first goal inside 30 seconds. As I touched on earlier, the big guns. We'll call them Maverick and Goose combining for that goal in the opening minute. You work out who's Maverick. Ball up. It'll be Muir the early fly, but the tap was won by Van Meel. Billy Jones had a good game. Right foot kick inside 50. Went in the McDougall direction. Wanted a hold, but denied. And Lever, after the protection from Riley, is able to extricate. And now they go along the line. The kick was okay from Miller. Looking there towards Boyd. Jones was good. Now Brown needs to be clean here. Here comes Sunbury through traffic. Oh, Egan McLean's got him. Umpire call, play on. Loose ball opportunity here. Cameron through traffic. Just threw it on the boot. It was Matty Johnson-esque there. And the kick found Sutton, who got reward for being in front. He's bereft of option, but went into the pocket. Is that a mark? No. Just got 2 on the half volley. And we get a ball up. Now Sunbury's turn to enjoy some time in their front half. Just 2 minutes into this final term. East Point lead by 18 points. Endeavouring to make it 14 in a row at Eastern Oval. Loose ball. Cairns couldn't find the target. Dodd could. Did well. The right foot kick along the line from Q's gone out of bounds on the full. That was Geordie Johnson, in fact. Sorry, Q. So Muir rebounds the ball back into play to Power. So Power with ball in hand. They just need another option forward. They're sadly missing Johnson. So they go to Gallant. Back to Power. Back to Muir. Coughs it up. Turnover. Jeffrey. Another turnover opportunity here. Sloppy. Play here. Power. Got it. Through traffic. Another opportunity. There was no one there. Dumped as he kicked. Set the ball forward. Diving attempt at mark there by Slater. Couldn't hang on. Hot footy. McLean at ground level. Shoveled it out towards Newitt. He too went to ground. Geordie Johnson desperate. And the ball gets shoveled out. But the umpire's just going to go, look, I've had enough of this. And to ball it up. 18-point lead to East Point. Sunbury in attack. Ball up. Look out. The dangerous Sutton. Kick across the body. Just a bit disoriented in the spin. Straight through the behinds. Sunbury's 10th of the afternoon. Margin now 17. So Merritt to retrieve the footy, bring the ball back into play. Well, look to go long, you would think, as he plays on and comes broadcast side. Hucker. Gee, all the Lions fell over. Opened the door for Hucker to mark uncontested in the end. He went short to Dodd. Still got Jeffrey short, but goes the longer option to Van Meel, who just continues to present. So he goes forward in the Brown direction. Good use of the body by Brown, but one of the hole denied. So they combine here through Wood and Pearce for turnover. McDougall stole the Lions lunch money and ran into an open goal. Oh, talk about something out of nothing. And while that was just that, it was McDougall's fifth. 5 goals to McDougall. So no doubt, some of that intent and purposeful chat at three-quarter time, I would have been remembering back to what happened in round 5 with 8 unanswered goals to Sunbury. But East Point have flipped that. They've got 2 goals to none of their own. And we've just been playing 5 minutes. Here goes Stevens. Outside of the right boot for the Lions. Dribbling ball towards the attacking 50. Loose ball. Gathered there by the youngster in Corcoran, who had a shot and missed off to the left. He's had a couple of opportunities today, the youngster. And he's been good in tight spaces too. He's often had the boundary line, a player and the ball, all in that sort of 1 square metre. Call it the phone box, call it what you like. But he's been good in tight spaces, Corcoran, but just his finishing on a couple of occasions on goal has let him down. So a point. Couple of lines in the timekeeper's box, having one of those all too familiar afternoon naps that we know they have on the Sahara. And the ball comes back into play. It's been cut off there by Muir, who can square the ball. Miller needs to be strong. Thompson, Speaker Bryn, got an important spoil on the footy. Now here's Brown. Composed, nearly took too long. Great pressure from Lever. Not before a kick could get sent inside 50. McDougall was clever, gave it to Hucker, across the body, is good. 3 in a row to East Point. And they won't want him to be taking their foot off the pedal here, East Point, given their inferior percentage to Sunbury. And they're getting all this done without their fearless leader in Matty Johnston. Don't forget, Mickey Rodamoronis is up in Noosa trying to find the wedding rings that he lost. And, of course, Alex Molan with that very unlucky ankle injury that will sideline him for the rest of the season. So it's East Point with a game-high 28-point lead at Eastern Oval. Muir and Van Meel, who's fought tirelessly in the ruck all day. Egan. Geez, he's been in the wars today, Egan. Yeah, he's just sore by definition. Look at a ball up right in the middle of the ground here. Well, what was going on there with the ruckman? Free kick's going to go the way of East Point. It's going to go against Muir to Van Meel. So where's the little run-around handball give here that Matty Johnson would just receive and bomb long? They're not going to get one here. So Van Meel will assume the kicking duties himself and goes with the right foot kick out wide. Cameron in front. Had a bit of it. Should have been pushed there by Geordie Johnson. Denied by the umpire. And that could be almost stoppage 100 for the afternoon. 28-point lead to East Point. 3 unanswered goals in this final term. Has consolidated the advantage. Now Cameron has somehow been picked out a free kick prior to that stoppage. And the kick found Cook. So Cook with ball in hand. Looks to weigh up the options and he runs away and he's still bereft. Leave of the target. Did well on Romerall, kept his feet. Created himself some space. Went searching for Corcoran. Ground level ball good again. Just the finish let him down. Chance for Thompson. Keep it in front of him. He's got a couple to beat. Good pressure on Pearce. Wood slipped over. Romerall, good tackle there from Corcoran. And Lever's bundled over the line for a boundary throw in with footy in hand by Jeffrey. Does get a little slippery here from half forward to the respective point posts, given the slope of the ground. Boundary throw in. Tap one by Van Meel. Knocked it boundary side. Power spent it before he had it. Dribbled off the shin over the line for a copy-paste throw in. Half forward for Sunbury. Egan's still in the wars. Just limping around here. Throw in. Tap one by Muir, who tried to find Egan, but Jones read it best. Big of Billy. Threw the ball under the boot, into the middle of the ground, looking towards Brown. He'll get a hold. Now they're out here. They'll just get it ball moving. Now get back into his right boot. Second guessed himself, nearly turned it over to Gallant, who kept the ball in front of him and then socketed it in the Stevens direction. But he was fouled as he got rid of it. Gallant, he's a bit sore. So it'll be down the ground, free kick. While the soccer from Gallant went about 15 metres. The kick forward will be taken in the middle of the ground. And as close as Gallant was to that contest, given he was felled as he kicked, he might even take his own down the ground free here. Unheard of. So Gallant will go broadcast side towards half forward. Egan the target. Kenny's tried really hard on Egan today. He's had a good game, Kenny. So have these boundary umpires. Been busy. Need his game to be interesting. Throw in. Coles at the back, grabbed it out of the ruck with strength. Van Meel one of the holes, still pleading with the umpires. They send the ball in the Sutton direction. Somehow he marked that. Jeez, he's a skillful player. The last roll of the dice to Sunbury. They need a goal, and they found Stevens. He needs to go back and thread this. Well, the degree of difficulty, given the angle, will test him. It's a must-kick goal here for the Lions. Keep them in the hunt. They trail by 28 points. They've clearly missed Guthrie between the arcs with his accumulation and his hit up. He always provides an out. But that story's near done now, unfortunately, for Lions fans. So it's up to the next gen to stand up. And Stevens is one of those. And he threads it, Stevens. Just what the Sunbury Lions needed. A pulse. We're back to a 16-point ball game here at Eastern Oval. And Sunbury took the best part of 12 minutes to kick their first of the final term. Through the agency of Stevens, who I mentioned earlier in the call was a late call-up for the Interleague. And he, like the other 21, really applied themselves well with that monster win over the Hampton League. I'm tipping both sides will look a little similar again next year, given I was privy to the age profile of the Hampton League, with some having 3 and 4 years left in that concept. But nonetheless, Ballarat similarly is young. Ball up, tap one by Coles. Egan knocked it forward. Clean gather from Cook. Took on the tackle of Geordie Johnson. Umpire nearly blew the whistle. Billy Jones, been good. Gave it to Jeffrey. Dumped as he kicked. Sent it forward. Back with courage. Been Lever. It's been good today. Just tipped it over the top to Power. Jeffrey still hurt in the middle of the ground. Power said that. Well, whatever he did with the dummy, it paid off on Romerell. And he found Egan. He's got Boyd to the outside. Didn't see him, so he went long in the Newitt direction. Good spoil on the footy there from Thompson. And it's gone over the line for a boundary throw-in. Gee, I like the Newitt option, but if you go to Boyd, you could have gone deeper with the next disposal. But now we find ourselves 49 metres away from the Sunbury goal. Look, Egan's selection there. It's probably the second best one. High up and under kick there from McLean across the face. Gee, Cook had a bit of it. Umpires picked out a free kick here. It's going to go the way of Sutton or Cook. Chance to get back-to-back goals, and Sutton says, well, I'll have it. It couldn't have been Cook getting the free kick anyway, because inadvertently it was Sutton who pushed Cook in the back from the pressure applied on Sutton. Gee, that's a mouthful. But a shot on goal here for Sutton for his 4th of the afternoon. That pulse just got a bit louder. 16-point ball game here. Sutton gets goal number 4. McDougall at the other end with 5. McDougall 3 and Billy Jones 2, the other multiple contributors on the goal front. Under the lights here at Eastern Oval, 14 and a half minutes gone. It's good to see the fight from Sunbury, the previous 2 goals of the game. 16-point lead. Here they go. Muir won the tap, was awkward, fell. Well, he looked pretty sore. Johnson fed the ball there towards Q. We found Jeffrey on half forward outside. So Jeffrey with ball in hand. He too was down for a moment in a very similar position to Muir just moments ago. The kick from Jeffrey found Merritt, who can send this ball deep into attack. Kick was awkward, but effective. Found Van Meel, who just ran onto that ball and marked it uncontested in the end. And he goes short towards Kenny. The umpire put whistle in mouth and didn't blow it. Now he will. Stoppage. Let off there for Sunbury. 16-point lead to East Point. 12-9 plays 9-11. 16 minutes gone, final term. Muir thumped the ball boundary side. Kenny leading into the race for the footy. Finally gathers, but he's swarmed by Lions defenders. We'll get a ball up. So a 12-point lead to East Point at three-quarter time has been extended to 16. Powers under the pump here. And Ping for holding the ball. So East Point can go back and just take a few seconds off the clock here. Geordie Johnson with ball in hand. High degree of difficulty here for most. So it's in the right hands for East Point to be able to overcome this acute angle. Need I say any more? He's a star, Geordie Johnson. And the margin back to 22 here at Eastern Oval. Geordie Johnson gets his first of the afternoon. And a steadying goal, albeit an understatement for East Point. Back to a 22-point lead. Wonder how much stuffing was knocked out of Sunbury with that finish from Geordie Johnson, because finishing has been an afternoon-long struggle. Back in the middle of the ground here at the restart. Muir got a little touch on the ball, but to no advantage. Kenny, who hasn't been far away from the action all afternoon, gets the ball back, so the big men fly. Van Meel won the tap. Chance for Hannett. Cameron needs to be quick, and he was. He's got that up his sleeve. How about Sutton? Gee, is a little unfortunate losing his feet. Now Egan swings onto the left. The kick was good and put it in front of Corcoran, who played on and went short and found Newitt. So a quick response here from Sunbury is just what they need to keep them in it as time ticks away beyond the 18-minute mark. With a 22-point advantage. And Jack Newitt, who had a couple of shots on goal in that third term, did kick one. He should kick this. Kicks on its way. Won't quite get the journey. And it's thumped through for a rush behind. Margin now 21. 9-12 Sunbury. Some opportunities gone begging for the visitors today. East Point 13-9, 87. Taken more of their opportunity in front of goal today. Merritt. Clearing kick beyond half-back. Terrific kick. Good stretch and mark by Lever. He's trying to keep Sunbury in it. Squaring kick. Ground level ball. Gathered there by Cameron. Fitted out by hand. And he'll get a free kick. And it'll go against Q. So Cameron We'll give it to Tendanello. He'll kick from half forward. Got plenty on the kick, but it's wide of the pocket. Spoil. Sutton. Tackle taken to the ground. And we'll get a boundary throw in. 25 to 30 metres around from the Sunbury goal. Whilst East Point lead by 21 points, I'd be surprised that the difference in inside 50s was a lot closer than the game suggests. Well, there's been a ruck infringement here. The free kick's going to go the way of Coles. It'll be Coles with ball in hand. And if ever Sunbury needed a Coles special on a Saturday, it's today from the great man. He's done it. Coles has kept Sunbury in this game here. As we move into time on final term, they're within 15 points, 10-12-72. They trail East Point 13-9-87. We've got 8 minutes remaining. Plenty of time. Sunbury have kicked 3 of the last 4 goals to be within 15. Coles. It's an important one. 87 plays 72. Game not over. Tap one by Van Meel to Geordie Johnson. Dumped as he tried to kick. Coles, he fought hard all day, the big man. And he's provided a bigger body around the ball for the Lions today. So the free kick is going to go the way of East Point for a ruck infringement. Might have been a nomination issue. As Van Meel goes with the right boot. Tendanello with the thumb. Chance here for Hucker. Right foot kick across the body. Bouncing ball. Ho-ho-ho! We're a challenger for goal of the day. Given the context of this game, Hucker gets his second. None more important than that. Quick response from Sunbury. It's from East Point, excuse me. And how frustrating for Sunbury. East Point have been able to respond more often than not quickly when Sunbury score goals. Any momentum has been quashed for the most part, but they're still within 21. 14-9 plays 10-12, 22 and a half minutes gone. Ball up. Van Meel with a second attempt to no advantage. Cairns through traffic, high up and under kick. Romerell in front, took a nice mark on the chest in front of Tendanello. So he wheels onto the left boot, sends the ball into attack. McDougall the target, Lever, had a bit of it, stolen by Dodd, out the back. Kick with the outside of the right boot, it's just missed off to the left. Billy Jones just missing his third goal. That would have just about been the game. Try and get some. So it'll be Hannett to bring the ball back into play beyond the half-back, but only as far as Geordie Johnson. It's had a good game between the arcs today. And send the Kangas back into attack. Players fly. Gallant had a bit of it. Stolen there by Wood, who got it to Lever. They found Pearce. And found Cook, who took a terrific mark. And he was pushed too as he went to hang on to that by Thompson. So Cook onto the left boot. Goes towards half forward. Good spoil there. On the ball there by Stevens. And the ricochet found its way over the line for a boundary throw-in. Back at Smash 93, lead North Ballarat 65. Darley lead Ballarat by 20. Throw-in. Coles kept it in front. Power dispossessed by Cairns. High up and under there from Van Meel. Got it towards half forward. Tendanello's tried hard today. Wood went without it. Hucker tried to knock it to advantage. Throw, if ever I've seen one. Found Pearce, who sent the ball towards half forward to another stoppage. So time running out for Sunbury as we need the 25-minute mark. 22-point lead to East Point. Redan lead Melton by 2 points. Can you believe it? Chance for Cameron. Kick across the body. High up and under kick towards half forward. Look out! Gee, that was courage from both players. They should help each other up, but save the niceties to post-match. So take a bow there, Tyson Cook and Samuel Q. Gee, they attack on the footy. To be commended. Cook was the lucky one. He came off okay. And Q's just hobbling off, but back to the last line, but he'll be okay. Throw in. Ground ball opportunity. Oh, Cook again. Good intent on the footy. We'll get a ball up 50 metres away from the Sunbury goal. Last roll of the dice, you'd think. Tap one by Coles. Chance for Thompson. Overran the footy. Gee, it's another hot footy there. Umpires picked out a free kick here. Few players remonstrating. I just love how you can come up with very polite, superficial wording for grubby mellows. Remonstrating, you know? But really, they're just wrestling. 30 of them. Kick out of defence is effective. Punch on the footy was good from Lever. Waiting at ground level there was Geordie Johnson. He's held up. We'll get a ball up. On half forward broadcast side for Sunbury, we've got the blood rule. Someone's going for a spell, and it'll be Mitch McLean. 22-point lead to East Point, 14-10 to 10-12. East Point with 2 more scoring shots. So that's equated to a 22-point lead. So they've been more efficient on goal, clearly East Point. Inside 50s would be about the same too. On spec, Pearce did the roving to Muir, kick across the body. Was well read by Brown. Right place, right time. Does it too often for it to be a fluke. And he'll get East Point out of trouble and take his time doing so. So he comes to broadcast centre wing. Van Meel the target. Oh, waiting out the back was Jones. Read it well and went to the advantage of McDougall. He's got to bend the big fella. He does. And his soccer went into the boot of Gallant, which ricocheted out of bounds on the full. And now East can get the ball moving. From 50 metres out, McDougall to the goal square. Gee, it went through the hands of Hucker. Romerall, squaring kick, had too much on it. Opened the door for Lever, needs to be quick. Hurried ball onto the right boot, was effective to Boyd. He lowered the eyes and found Stevens. Got to get it going here, Sunbury. They found Egan. Sweeping hand pass to Wood. He's got Miller by hand, but ignores that option and goes by foot. The kick was good to Cook. Look out, good spoil on the ball there from Brown. Was good as a handball because it found Dodd. And McDougall's happy to see it over the line for a boundary throw-in. There, 28.5 minutes gone. Final term. Each point by 22 points. 4 minutes to go. So Redan have beaten Melton by 2 points. Opportunity for Power. Fed the ball to Hannett, who got it to Cook. Left foot kick. Sutton's opportunity from the back. Oh, courage in front, shown by the East Point defence. Not paid. Sutton fed the ball out, was nearly as good as a kick. Cook fell over. Gee, must be slippery around that 50. And Geordie Johnson will steady the ship and suck some seconds out of the game. Just chips it over the top to Jeffrey. Yeah, around that 45 to 55 metre area from the goal right of screen. I've never seen so many players slip over. So Jeffrey, right foot kick towards the attacking 50. McDougall worked his way in front, but Galland read it better in the air. Took an uncontested mark. Kick was terrific. They've got to take a risk, and they did. To Hannah, to Power. who went back, but there was nobody home. So he went wide with the left boot, and the kick was okay. And Murphy Boyd, who's been good by foot today, high efficiency. That one nearly let him down, but it got to Cameron in the end. He fed the ball by hand to Lever. Last roll of the dice. Power. Right foot kick out in the Sutton direction. And why wouldn't you go there? That's because East Point have got numbers. That's why. Jacob Brown to Liam Howard. Got it over the top there towards Merritt, who went with the big bomb and smashed it out of bounds on the full. Sunbury 10-12. East Point 14-10. So they bring the ball back into play. Lever has had a good game. Squaring ball to Hannett. And get it over to Tendanello if he's quick. As all of East Point have pushed back. So Tendanello from half forward. Trying to find a target through all the Kangaroos. Couldn't even get it past the man in front. Fed the ball by hand to Gallant. To Muir. Needs to be quick. Shoveled it on towards Pearce. Foot race on. East Point have got numbers. And Jeffrey will see it over the line for a boundary throw in. So Redan trailed Melton by 24 points at three-quarter time and came back and got it done. Boundary throw in. Thump out of the air by Muir. Ground ball. Good use of the body there by Cook. Harassed there by Thompson. We'll get a ball up on a slippery part of the Eastern Oval. Of course, no Matty Johnson for the second half. We'll be able to find out what happened there. A diagnosis for you. Oh, Power did the roving. It was a clever tap from Muir, and he went long, and Brown did the defensive thing, protected the ball between himself and the player and the boundary line. So at least one of the results we're going to go his way, and that in the form of a throw-in. So Sunbury in attack. They try by 22. Gee, a lot of players around the footy. Thompson, one of those for East Point, who's held up there by Stevens. And we'll get another ball up. Sunbury in attack. It's been an entertaining afternoon. Neither ruckman could impact. It's more of a scrum of sorts in there at the moment. 24 scoring shots to 22 in favour of East Point, but more importantly, a 22-point advantage. East Point are going to make it 14 wins in a row on their home deck. On the flip side, the run of the Bloods at McPherson Park comes to an end today. And again, we'll get another ball up. These stoppages are like commercial breaks in a good movie. Unwelcomed. Tap one by Coles. Over the shoulder. Be a free kick to the Kangas. Might be Kenny. Tried hard all day, the youngster. I'm not sure if it's been a match-up, he and Egan, but they've been far away from one another for the most part. And Egan hasn't really been able to get off the hook today. Hustle by Hucker, dribbling ball towards broadcast centre wing, gathered by Miller. Important kick. Found the target at nearly 50. Wood with ball in hand now. We had to shrug off the youngster there in Jones. Good pressure as he kicked. Sutton, ground ball. And we'll get a ball up. Centre half forward. How long we got left, gents? 30 seconds to go. So, 2 stories out of today. East Point will go 2 games clear of Sunbury. And they'll join. Well, they'll go to second, actually, because Melton have coughed it up to Redan. Dribbling ball to outer centre wing. Foot race on. Gathered by Wood. And get a territory gain to half forward. Run the bars, guys. This game is over. East Point 94 leads Sunbury 72. Trying to collect my thoughts on that comeback from Redan, who trailed by 24 points at three-quarter time at McPherson Park and got it done. Throw in. Coles and Van Meel been at it all day. It's been a good tussle. Geordie Johnson hurried right foot kick beyond out of centre wing. He's had a good day, so too Lever. Gallant kicked the goal of the day in the third term. Goes into the middle of the ground at Corcoran. He's done some good things. Dodd been busy all afternoon. So the share's been pretty even. Yeah, the share and commitment has been pretty even amongst both sides right throughout the afternoon. But honours with East Point, who led at every change. They were challenged all afternoon by Sunbury, but held all the aces when it counted. East Point booted 5 goals in that final term to Sunbury's 3. And in that second half, Sunbury booted 5 goals, 7. So they missed some opportunities to East Point's 7-3. So accuracy on goal, like we saw last night of the AFL, can cost you games of footy. But the right team won here today. East Point were more efficient and just had more options when going forward. We'll just take a look at the goal scorers for the winners. McDougall booted 5, Dodd 3, 2 each to Billy Jones and Hucker, 1 to Brown and Geordie Johnson, and what a goal that was. And for Sunbury, Sutton booted 4 and 1 each to Newitt, Gallant, Stevens, McLean and Power. The most entertaining afternoon. Guys, I'll just get you some scores from around the grounds before we bid you farewell from Eastern Oval. And the weather has held up again here in another round of footy for the BFNL, so yeah, we've been quite lucky. Backer Smash 100, defeated North Ballarat 65, was 30 shots on goal to 15 in that game. It equated to 35 points. Darley defeated Ballarat by 26. So they showed a bit of dash to Ballarat. Gee, it's a long season, this Ballarat Footy League. And Brett Bewley, the star with 4 goals. In other games, Melton 12-13-85, lost to Redan 13-9-87. Gee, I can't wait to catch a bit of that. Then Lake Windaree, who were belted to pillar and post in that first half, showed some dash in the second, whilst they were soundly beaten. Was looking like getting right out of hand there. Sebastopol 128 have downed Lake Windaree 69. And here at Eastern Oval, it's 14 wins in a row for East Point at Eastern Oval. We'll bid you all a good afternoon from a ripper ground here at Eastern Oval. Hope you've witnessed an entertaining game of footy. But it's East Point who and Melton and Darley who are doing it all at the top. Guys, we'll do it all again next week. Not privy to what game I'm doing, but be sure to tune in. And we trust that you enjoyed this afternoon's game. So on behalf of Elijah and myself, Todd, we bid you all a good afternoon from Eastern Oval. It's the Kangas who've won by 22 points.
It must have been love.
When else could you have a burger where the buns are pancakes?
It must have been love.
Macca's new McGriddles. Brekkie comes first.